Welcome back to the Airboat build. It's been about a month since I've been able to work on it, so finally some time back in the garage and I'll get to work. I got lots of parts stacking up and no time to do it, so we'll chip away today and see what we can get done. This is the main goal for today. This is obviously a new camshaft. This is basically, it's the, so obviously it's from Jegs. This is the sloppy stage 2 cam. And I'm using this because obviously I'll be turbocharged and it's kind of a intermediate cam. So that should be good for this application. We'll get that in there. And I'll just show you some of the other stuff that I've got recently that I'll be getting to soon. This is a Kevlar blanket for that turbo. I'll be putting that on at some point. Getting parts ready for the throttle cable. I had to order this 24 or 240 inch low car cable. That should be long enough. I think that's the longest that they make. Just some other random stuff. A whole bunch of silicone vacuum lines. I ordered a new chain. I might not actually put that on, so I might just keep running the stock chain. We'll see what I decide to do about that. What else do I got? New oil pump. So, same thing. This is the Summit, which I think is actually just the Melling brand oil pump. So that's a good pump. I haven't decided whether I'll keep the stock pump on it for now or do the swap. The only reason to do the swap would be just for preventative maintenance. I got these. I'll also be working on the fuel cell coming up soon. I got filler caps and extensions and things like that. So interesting, this is a Mediocre cap. It's quite nice. It's got a rubber O-ring in it. So this will be, I'll be welding together aluminum filler tubes. So this one was, I can't remember, probably 40 bucks or something. And then I got this one on eBay, and I think it was like less than 20 bucks. And it's actually not bad as well. No, oh, there is a rubber O-ring in it. So this was I think way less than half the price. And I actually ordered this one first, but I thought, well, I might not get here in time, so I'll order this one from China. The Chinese one got here first, so go figure. And then I got some more extensions and seat bracket. So anyway, the goal for today is going to open the engine up and do the cam swap. And I forgot to mention, when I'm doing the cam swap, I'm also going to change the springs. So what do I got? These are the pack 12/18s. So if I remember correctly, that cam goes to 550 lift, and these pack beehive springs should be just fine. So I'm going to switch all the springs over. I got this tool for the valve spring compressor. I haven't used this one before, so we'll try it out. It looks like it's pretty straightforward to use. As I've mentioned before, this is the first LS engine that I've worked on. But I've done plenty of cam swaps on older engines, mostly small block Chevys. From what I can tell, the LS is actually an easier engine to do a cam swap than a small block. I'm basically going to do it the way that Sloppy Mechanics, he's got a video, well, he's probably got more than one, but he's got at least one where he shows pretty well how to do the cam swap. So I'm going to follow that same kind of general approach that he uses. First thing I'm going to do is take off the water pump. I got the belt just to the side. I'm going to try, just basically out of efficiency or maybe laziness, to leave as much as possible on here. So obviously this has to come off. The pulley and harmonic balancer needs to come off. I'm going to try to leave the exhaust on, leave the turbo on, and leave that accessory on. We'll see if that works out. There we go. So I'm surprised the impact hammer isn't touching that. This is the hammer I've been using lately, this Earthquake XT, and it's pretty powerful actually, it's pretty heavy. So we'll give it another shot, otherwise I'll put a big long bar on it. Now to pull the harmonic balancer off, I don't have the exact proper tool for this. I'll probably order one at some point. But what I'm going to use today is just this gear puller. And it should be fine. It needs to have the 3 claws, which it does have. The problem is that there's this hole that goes down through the crankshaft. So what my plan is to put just this extension in there, and hopefully that'll work. Hopefully it doesn't do anything bad on the inside. But we'll find out. Okay. Is that something breaking, or is that the pulley letting go? Not sure. So when I was trying it before, there was a breaking sound, and I found out what it was. It was one of these arms that broke. And it goes to show, using the wrong tool for the job, it basically just wastes time. And especially, you know, when I'm waiting a month to have time to work on this, to come in and to have to fight the wrong tool is just frustrating. So it's a matter of what's wasting more time now, trying to run out and find the right tool or continuing with this. And I'm not sure what's worse. I'm going to try this a bit more, and then ultimately, whenever I do this again, I'll order the proper tool. There we go. So as I'm doing this, I'm holding the flywheel with a pry bar to stop the crankshaft from rotating. But that's got the seal now, so it's coming off. Wow, pretty dry in there. This motor hasn't been running about 3 years, I think, is when I got it. So this was just basically a junkyard motor. I bought it off a guy that was wrecking his truck. I think I paid $600, $700 for it, and it was running at that time. But it's basically a junkyard. So I mentioned earlier I'm definitely going to change the cam today. Now what about the chain and the oil pump? Well, I have a brand new chain and oil pump. I could just swap it in, but I don't think I will. And it's the main reason why is because this isn't going to be the ultimate engine for this airboat. At some point I'd like to build an aluminum block and put some nice parts on it. So this one is going to be the starting point. And as long as it's running well and reliable, then I don't need to throw every single part at it. So we'll start with the camshaft, and that might be it for today. Well, that and the springs. The springs and the cam have to go together. And it's hard to see those dots. Well, you can't see, you can see one of them. The other one's there, and on the other gear it's down there. You can't see it from the camera angle. So this engine was running supposedly fine, and based on these lobes it looks like just normal wear. I don't see anything chewed up. I'm going to assume that the lifters inside are fine. So all 16 lifters appear to be up, and that's good. I'll put the new cam in there, and that's one part done. That worked. So that was about probably a good solid minute with a propane torch on it. To change out the valve springs, obviously I'm leaving the heads on the engine. And I'm going to try out this Proform kit. So it's from Proform. Basically that bolts to the cylinder head. There's that stud that comes up. There's this hardened machined piece here that will compress the springs down, and then obviously take the retainers out. And in order to do this, obviously the cylinder head or the cylinder needs to be pressurized. So I'm using this. This will be connected to the air compressor. Cylinder will be full of pressure. That should provide enough upward force on the valve that compressing the spring won't push the valve down. Oh, that worked awesome. So I'm replacing these with, these are the Pack 1218 springs, and you can see, so this is the new Pack 1218, and that's the stock GM spring. So they're, I'm sure they're a stiffer spring, but they're also able to have more lift. So there we go. That worked really well. So that's a great example of having the proper tool for the job. It made changing those springs very easy. So I'll do that 7 more times. So I'm going to get these other springs changed over, and that's about it for today. So cam is in, springs will be done, and thanks for watching. Coming up next, I'm not sure. I'll probably finish the fuel cell Coming up soon, we'll be hooking up the Megasquirt computer and getting the engine ready to start.